Okay. E.D. Hirsch Jr., he was a kind of difficult man to find out much about, and so most of my stuff is from Wikipedia. He was the son of Eric Donald Hirsch, which means his name was also Eric Donald Hirsch Jr. He was born March 21st, 1928 in Memphis, Tennessee, and he is currently still alive. He was the son of a prosperous Jewish cotton merchant. He was a professor of education and humanities and a Lyndon Kent Memorial Professor of English Emeritus at the University of Virginia. He studied at Cornell University and at Yale. He began his education career as a Yale professor and a scholar of Romantic poets. He created the core knowledge curriculum. It's online. You can find it. He wrote 11 books, the 8-book core knowledge series, and several articles. And he contributed a chapter to another book written by a bunch of people. He won the Explicator Prize for his second book. He worked in composition, and it led to a major shift change in his career. He had given a test, and he discovered that the students in one college did better than other students who took the same kind of test, and he discovered that it was because those who took the test that got the better scores, they knew the background of the story. And he discovered that while the school text is important, knowing the background is just as important, if not more. He came up with the term cultural literacy. It's the idea that reading comprehension requires not just formal decoding skills, but also wide-ranging cultural background knowledge. He concluded that schools should not be neutral about what is taught, but should teach a highly specific curriculum that would allow children to understand things writers take for granted. In his second to last book, it's called The Knowledge Deficit, and he wrote it in 2006. It talks about how poor performance scores in reading can be traced back to a knowledge deficit that prevents students from learning what they need to know. In his last book, written in 2009, he complains of how for 60 years there was no curriculum in the schools, thanks to progressives like John Dewey and others who took an anti-curriculum approach. He won many awards, one of which was the Explicator Prize, but there were also many others. I don't think he's really had much of an effect on my schooling, other than the possible curriculum, and that is E.D. Hirsch Jr.